Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to Stars of Nust. I'm your host Sana Zafar. As always, हम आपके लिए लाते हैं high achievers from all across the globe and from all colleges of Nust. आज भी हमें Seecs की एक और bright shining star, very popular star ने join किया है. We have with us Mehreen Nawaz Khan. Assalamu alaikum Mehreen. Thank you so much for joining us.
Assalamu alaikum, Sana. Thank you for having me and thank you for the lovely introduction.
You're most welcome to the show. Mehreen ne Nust se graduate kiya from Seecs in 2010 when she completed her degree in information technology. And currently she is enterprise transformation coach at IBM. Sounds very interesting, Mehreen. I really want to know more about it. लेकिन हम थोड़ा सा पहले कुछ और तरफ चलते हैं. इस्लामाबाद में हैं आप, थोड़ा सा बताइएगा कैसा है मौसम वहाँ पे. सुना था बहुत गर्मी हुई, फिर बारिशें हुई, आजकल क्या चल रहा है?
सुना जब मैं आज सुबह उठी काम पे जाने के लिए तो इट वाज कम्प्लीटली डार्क आउटसाइड और मुझे यही था कि मतलब फंसूंगी और बारिश हो रही है दिस दैट एंड द अदर एंड आई जस्ट स्टेड बैक एट होम और थोड़ी देर के बाद इतनी ज्यादा ह्यूमिडिटी हो गई थी कि मैं यही सोच रही थी कि मतलब ये व्हाट जस्ट हैपेंड बिकॉज इट गॉट सो प्लेजेंट ऑल ऑफ अ सडन और एकदम फ्लक्चुएट किया है तो बट दिस इज हाउ इस्लामाबाद इज यू नो
Yeah, definitely. Especially July, August is like that in Islamabad.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
चलिए मेरीन, आपकी हम जर्नी की तरफ आते हैं. IBM से रिलेटेड बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस हैं, लेकिन उससे पहले आप प्लीज थोड़ा सा बताएं आपकी हॉबीज क्या हैं. यू साउंड लाइक अ वेरी फन गर्ल, सो आई वांट टू नो मोर प्लीज.
सना, मेरी हॉबीज जो हैं वो मोस्टली जो है वो सोशल गैदरिंग्स से रिलेटेड है. Anything that has to do with people, actually, I love doing that.
Nice.
So, be it, volunteer work, because again, you are having conversations with a lot of people around you. Traveling, mostly मेरा जो सबसे बड़ा होता है, जो मुझे एक charm लगता है traveling का, वो ये होता है कि I'll get to meet so many new people and I'll get to make so many new friends, and that is what I end up doing as well. हर trip के बाद मेरे पास एक लिस्ट होती है लोगों की and I keep in touch with them as well. Other than that, when I'm not working, I'm either watching football. मुझे football देखने का बहुत शौक है. I'm not a sporty person myself, so don't take me as one. लेकिन football देखने का बहुत ज़्यादा शौक है. और music, of course, like everybody else. I just love to listen to music. If you'd like to know more about, what actually is something that excites me, my travel plans. मैं अपने travel plans ऐसे बनाती हूँ जैसे कोई project execute हो रहा होता है. I start planning like 6 months beforehand. So it is again like,
attention to detail.
Oh yes. Oh.
Very nice. Sounds really fun. और आपने बड़ी मजेदार बात की है यहाँ पे कि you enjoy talking to people and you enjoy meeting new people and you take it as the main part of the whole experience of traveling and meeting new people. I think ये बहुत closely related है जो आपकी अभी भी designation है. Coaching से इसका जरूर कोई गहरा ताल्लुक होना चाहिए. Because it definitely helps you in such field अगर आप already open हैं and you are willing to meet new people with an open mind.
Exactly, and I think we'll get to that in detail as well.
Yes, definitely. उससे पहले हमें थोड़ा सा जरा नास्ट की मेमोरीज पे जाते हैं ना. हमें सीक्स का टाइम बताइएगा कैसा था. You miss any friends, any teachers you like to mention?
Oh yes, Seecs का टाइम बहुत ज़्यादा मेरे लिए memorable था because of the journey of getting into Seecs. A lot of people do not know, but I actually got into MCS before. So when I got into MCS for software engineering, I got into this state where I was like, I would not be able to survive in an environment like that. Because हम लोग इतने protected environment में रहते हैं, MCS में गई मुझे लग रहा था कि शायद मैं PMA पहुंच चुकी हूँ. तो जो उसकी जो ragging वो सारी एकदम से start हुई and I just went up. I remember I went up to my father and I said, okay, this is it for me. I've spent like 2 days in MCS and now I just want to go to some other school. And he was like, how does that even happen? I was like, I don't know, just do it somehow. But I got lucky that way क्योंकि जब merit numbers है उसकी list देखते हैं तो MCS comes on top and then somehow Seecs जो है वो नीचे आता है. So when my father spoke with the rector and others, they said that this was doable. and that's how I landed in Seecs. So इसलिए वो मेरे लिए थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा memorable होता है because of the journey in itself and how traumatizing it was for me.
यस आई नो, हम एमसीएस के जितने भी स्टार्स को बुलाते हैं वो इस चीज को जरूर मेंशन करते हैं. ऑफ कोर्स विद टाइम आप शुरू में डर गई, विद टाइम पीपल गेट सेटल एंड स्टार्ट टू एंजॉय इट, लेकिन शुरू का इंप्रेशन डेफिनेटली वही होता है जो आपका भी था.
So about the friends, Sana, क्योंकि हमारा बैच साइज जो है वो बहुत ज़्यादा छोटा था. We were about 8 girls and 10 boys. So इतनी ज़्यादा आपस में collaboration थी. It used to be a lot of fun. And then because me being me, मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा शौक था किसी ना किसी community को join करने का. तो I joined ACM, and towards the end of it, I was the president of the ACM chapter as well. So uske through, we organized quite a lot of events, and then, my circle kind of expanded, which made it a lot more special.
वेरी नाइस. नहीं, डेफिनेटली अगेन आपकी पर्सनालिटी का जो पीपल्स पर्सन पार्ट है वो हमें हर चीज में रिफ्लेक्ट हो रहा है. सो दैट्स गुड टू नो. तो हम थोड़ा सा आते हैं प्रोफेशनल जर्नी के बारे में. थोड़ा सा बताइएगा, जब आपने ग्रेजुएट कर लिया उसके बाद से वे यू आर टुडे, क्या क्या हुआ बीच में. एंड आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट यू टू टेक एज मच टाइम एज यू वांट टू, बट आप हमें सब कुछ बताइएगा कि कुछ स्ट्रगल्स थी, कोई टफ डिसीजंस थे, व्हाट हैपेंड इजीली, व्हाट केम इजीली टू यू, एंड व्हाट रिक्वायर्ड सम special thinking and hard decision. It can go either way. What should I do, and how did you handle that? तो उस तरह हमें वहां से लेके चलें.
Sure. Sana, initially I got really very lucky. What did come easily to me was this job, because my FYP was an IBM products.
Oh.
So there were people who visited Seecs at that point in time, and when I presented to them, they got back to me saying that they would want to have me over for an internship. And right after my FYP, I joined IBM as an internee. Lekin tab I joined the sales department. I spent good 8 months as an internee. I think IBM Pakistan की history में किसी intern ने इतना ज़्यादा time नहीं spend किया होगा जितना मैंने spend किया था. Nice. And then I was pulled into the services domain, which is essentially looking after the projects. यहाँ से I would say the struggle began. Because again, I thought initially that, I had gotten everything very easily. क्योंकि मैंने जैसे ही services में switch over किया था, मेरे सामने एक project था. They brought me in as a business analyst for a product that I had not even heard about, but the team was so good and so supportive that I did not feel that I was a new joiner. And that is from where, the journey began. But soon I realized how big IBM was and how easy was it to get lost in an organization as big as that. You have to show your prominence, your eminence at every step of the way. Otherwise, people will forget you. They will literally forget you.
Oh, okay.
And that is when I started to build my own network outside of that little team at the client side as well. और उसके बाद I got to know कि IBM में हर चीज आपको बहुत ज़्यादा easily मिलती भी नहीं है. For every single project of yours, you have to struggle. You have to reach out to people. You have to look for opportunities for yourself. You have to keep learning on your own, because कोई भी बहुत ज़्यादा time के लिए आपको आपका हाथ पकड़ के आपको नहीं लेकर जाएगा. There's some things that you have to take in your own hands. And that's what I realized when, from a business analyst, I was put into a support role altogether. And I was like, hey, what just happened? But at that point in time, there were not many roles. And they said that, it is going to be a good change for you. You'll understand the processes. There was a plus point to it as well. But soon I got really very bored because it was a very robotic kind of a work. Okay. So that is, when I started to explore the project management domain. And I got lucky because my manager was really very supportive at that point in time. He engaged me in his own projects as an associate project manager. Of course, एकदम से आपको वो इतनी सारी चीजें handover नहीं करते थे. And then, उस umbrella के अंदर रह रहे के मेरी थोड़ी सी आदतें भी खराब हो गई थी, because I knew कि मैं चाहे कुछ मर्जी कर दूं, अभी I have a person who is going to be there to support me. वो bubble भी मेरा बहुत जल्दी burst हो गया था when he handed over major projects of his to me entirely. And I was there, handling clients, their mood swings. और तब मैंने सोचा कि, I thought कि, this job was really very easy. मैंने सिर्फ उसको बोलना है तुम ये करो, तुम वो करो, and that's about it. but there's like so much to it that you need to look into, and there's so much to it that you need to work on in order to be an effective project manager. And how thankless just this job is. At times in social America, like I'm so much, and yet मतलब मुझे एंड पे जो है या तो क्लाइंट से सुननी पड़ी है या अपनी टीम से कभी सुननी पड़ी है कि आप बहुत ज्यादा प्रेशर डाल रही हैं, दिस दैट एंड द अदर, बट देन सून आई रियलाइज दिस इज पार्ट एंड पार्सल ऑफ व्हाट आई एक्चुअली साइंड अप फॉर. All in all, मतलब मेरा project management का journey इसी तरीके से चलती रही. I went to Dubai for about 6 months to manage a project over there. So that was like an international exposure. इसके अलावा मैंने और बहुत ज़्यादा इंटरनेशनल क्लाइंट्स के साथ काम किया, जैसे वोडाफोन आयरलैंड, टर्किश एयरलाइंस. हर प्रोजेक्ट अपने साथ एक नया सेट ऑफ चैलेंजेस लेकर आता था, और हर प्रोजेक्ट मुझे ये चीज़ रियलाइज कराता था कि जिसको मैं बहुत मुश्किल समझ रही थी वो तो कुछ भी नहीं था. ये जो प्रोजेक्ट है that is on another level altogether.
Even tougher.
Oh yes. And then something happened. I think because it's like a consultancy job, हम लोग project based हमारा जो है वो roles चल रहे होते हैं. If there are no projects, then of course you're sitting on what they call a bench, that you are non-productive. एक वो वाला phase भी आया जिसमें there were no projects because project managers की या functional consultants की apparently बहुत ज़्यादा saturation हो चुकी थी. Technical consultants इतने ज़्यादा थे नहीं. And that is when a lot of people also made me realize कि शायद थोड़े से technical skills होने चाहिए. Given that you've come from an IT background, now you're completely working in a functional role. So that is when I took the matter in my own hands, and I picked up something which I thought was the simplest, and that was एक tool होता है SPSS जो data analytics के लिए use हो रहा होता है. So I took that up and I started working on it. Initially जो मेरा जो learning phase था वो इतना लंबा नहीं था, लेकिन उसके साथ जो expectations etched हो गई थी कि okay, now she knows about data analytics as well. उसकी वजह से मेरे work life balance के ऊपर काफी ज़्यादा फर्क पड़ा था. But the good thing is that at least I could project myself as somewhere in between a technical and a functional person. Then again, this phase came through where there were very less projects. I had to find myself a new opportunity, and that is when they put me into a completely operational role. Which was essentially to support a colleague of ours who was going on a maternity leave. So उन्होंने कहा कि बस 3 महीने तक तो कोई ना कोई project आ जाएगा. Why don't you support us over there? And I was like, okay, fine, let's go for it. और वो 3 महीने का role translate हुआ into 2 years of a role, because apparently the team really liked me and they gave me an entire portfolio of Africa to manage. That was more of like a workforce management kind of a role. So uski wajah se, हालांकि मुझे लगता है कि again that role was really very robotic, but when I look at it from this way, मैंने जो connections उस role के through बनाए हैं, those are unmatched, because उस role के through ही मैंने अपने senior executives के साथ communicate करना शुरू किया था, which otherwise you do not really get a chance unless they are on the same project as you. So वो एक, again, it was like an international exposure for me. But since ये role robotic था, मेरे पास बहुत ज़्यादा time था, मैंने कहा अब और क्या किया जाए. So being me, क्योंकि मैं हर चीज़ के साथ बहुत ज़्यादा कोई monotonous कोई चीज़ हो जाए तो मैं बहुत ज़्यादा बोर हो जाती हूँ. तो मैंने कहा अब और क्या किया जाए, देखते हैं मतलब what all is available in IBM, and that is when I found a completely different career path which was related to coaching. Okay. I did not know that it even existed in IBM even after so many years. मुझे IBM में अभी 12 years हो चुके हैं. I think मुझे कोई 9 साल के बाद पता लगा कि एक completely different career path है coaching का, which you can take on. And it's not only agile coaching, but it encapsulates performance coaching, success coaching, career coaching, life coaching. Wow. And life coaching rang a bell. And I was like, I really have to look into this. So I started looking around. IBM in itself is like a big, big library of resources. आप कोई ऐसी चीज नहीं है जो आप IBM के resources के ऊपर देखें जो आपको ना मिले. मैंने trainings देखना शुरू कर दी. I found what it is called neuro-linguistic programming. And it is a tool that is actually helped to rewire the way you think. And then I started to apply it not only on myself, but also on my family. And I saw the benefits that my family was getting. मतलब simple techniques की वजह से आपका एक पूरा perception change हो जाता है, आपका pain manage हो रहा है, आपका stress manage हो रहा है, आपकी depression manage हो रही है, आपका दिन बहुत अच्छे तरीके से गुजर रहा है, you are not stuck in your negative thoughts, you are changing those negative thoughts into something more productive. So when I did that, that is when I started to reach out to people within the organization to come to me if they wanted support with anything of any sort. इसके साथ obviously और भी trainings थी, IBM का अपना एक training program है coaching का, I enrolled in that. In addition to that, एक external vendor है that's called IC Agile, उसका एक training certification, एक coaching certification है, I went for that as well. So like I had what apparently it takes to become a coach, लेकिन मेरा जो प्रोगेटिव था वो ये था कि लाइफ कोचिंग स्किल्स जो मैंने अभी तक इतने टाइम में सीखी हैं, आई रियली वांट टू गिव बैक टू द सोसाइटी, और आई वुड वांट टू हेल्प अदर्स इन दिस एरिया, क्योंकि अभी तक किसी साइकोलॉजिस्ट के पास जाना, साइकेट्रिस्ट के पास जाना, किसी थेरेपिस्ट के पास जाना समझा जाता है कि ये बंदा बिल्कुल पागल हो चुका है.
It's a taboo. Yeah.
It is still a taboo, which is really very sad, because that's what I keep telling my clients as well, that I've been through therapy myself. And I can vouch for it that obviously I had not lost my mind. There were certain areas where I needed help. And therapy did help me. But coaching ki baat ye hai ki coaching is much more different than even therapy per se. Because you're not even giving advices and you're not even giving suggestions to the other person. You're just listening to the other person. And we all know for a fact that listening se kitne aap change aata hai.
Definitely. Yes. Yes.
So after all of this, Agile Center of Competence Singapore ke andar set up hai IBM mein. They reached out to me and they wanted me to join their team. And that is a team of enterprise transformation coaches. जो कि ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में जाके उनका करंट इकोसिस्टम को स्टडी करती हैं, उनके कल्चर को स्टडी करती हैं, एंड देन दे गिव रिकमेंडेशंस, एंड नॉट ओनली रिकमेंडेशंस, वो पायलट्स रन करती हैं जस्ट टू शो कि अगर हम एक कल्चरल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन आपके इतनी बड़ी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को पिच कर रहे हैं, what is it going to look like? Because a lot of organizations are like, हम इतने अरसे से इसी तरीके से चल रहे हैं, what are you going to bring to the table? Which is like a legit point, and I completely understand their perspective as well. But the beauty of this area is that once you are inside of the system, you are a part of the system, and you are kind of enforcing some sort of a change into the system, you see how the system is adapting to it. Systems itne adaptable hote hain, hame samajh nahi aa rahi hoti. They are probably as adaptable as we as human beings. तो ये टीम बेसिकली ये काम कर रही होती है, जिसमें एजाइल कोचिंग भी है, जिसमें क्लाउड कोचिंग भी है, जिसमें यू नेम एनी टेक्निकल स्किल एंड वी कैन जस्ट गो इन एंड वर्क विद द टीम्स टुगेदर to help them achieve their digital strategy, help them achieve their digital goals.
Yes.
मेरे लिए again, all in all, the journey was not easy. मुझे खुद struggle करना पड़ी. अगर मैं agile coaching का या coaching in general का path अपने लिए ना देखती, had I not been there talking to people about, what's in, what's out, what's new, what can I help you out with, I would not have been where I am today at this point in time. Even now, I don't think there's any harm in going up to your superiors or going up to your teams and asking for advice or asking them to guide you, because I don't think कि आपका learning की journey किसी point in time के ऊपर खत्म होती है. The moment you start giving an impression that I am a know-it-all person, you will see how people start repelling you. And the moment you tell the people that you are open to accepting new challenges and new roles, they take you as a go-getter. And this is the same case with me, because now for a fact, like you've heard the journey, right? But from a salesperson to business analysis to project management to even an operational role and now agile coaching, my organization in itself knows कि इसको जहां पे भी डाल दो इसने adjust हो जाना है, right? And I think that kind of helps. Initially हम लोग काफी annoy भी हो रहे होते हैं because I remember going back to my manager and saying कि मेरी CV is a complete mess. मैं किसी एक area को नहीं बोलती कि I have an expertise in this area. And he said that look at the experience that you've gotten in multiple domains. What does that tell about you as a person? And I was like, point to aapka theek hai.
Yeah, Nini, thank you so much for sharing this fun journey, amazing journey. और सबसे interesting बात मुझे ये लगी कि you said that right after graduation you joined IBM and till date you are with the very same organization and still mashallah you got the chance to experience all that, so many projects, so many flavors. I would say you took up challenges, learning never stopped. This is very interesting point that you said you kept on learning one thing or the other and you took up the challenges to adjust everywhere. So I think especially जो आपने ये बात की कि जब आप ये समझते हैं कि हमें सब कुछ आ गया है, I think this is the point where you stop growing. When you think you don't need to learn anymore and you're not learning, you're not growing anymore. So yes, बहुत ज़बरदस्त journey है आपकी and I think ये जो especially कोचिंग में जहाँ पे एंड में आप बात कर रही हैं ये वही है जो मैं पहले भी बात करी थी कि यू हैव ऑलवेज बीन अ पीपल्स पर्सन, सो ऑफ कोर्स दैट गिव्स यू एन एज कि आपका एक पर्सनल इंटरेस्ट है और यू आर दैट काइंड ऑफ पर्सन और डेफिनेटली इट्स अ वेरी इंस्पायरिंग जर्नी दैट यू हैव टू कीप गोइंग एंड डिफरेंट चैलेंजेस हैं और बहुत डिफरेंट. I think I would like to somehow relate it to the gender roles as well कि normally males के लिए फिर भी somehow acceptable होता है कि हाँ फिर challenge ले लो, फिर role change कर लो, दूसरी country चले जाओ. Females के लिए हम थोड़ा सा अपना ना narrow कर लेते हैं vision कि नहीं जैसे चल रहा है ठीक है, एक ही तरह है, वैसे ही चलते जाओ, यही ठीक है. So you went against that wave as well and made it happen. Mashallah, we are very proud of you.
Oh, thank you so much. Females की journey से मुझे याद आया सना, बल्कि in fact अभी recently, I think just a few weeks ago, I was called to Saudi Arabia to coach Saudi women. Yes, and honestly speaking, मेरा जो first impression था वो ये था कि this is going to be a really very tedious task because there's so many factors that are involved, especially when we think about Saudi Arabia. There is culture, there's otherwise disparity. And I thought, the women over there would be so oppressed. But when I stepped in there, when I talked to those women, it opened up my eyes. Those women are aware now.
Wow, okay.
They know what they want to achieve in their lives. They are already achieving so much कि मेरी job as a career coach आधी वहीं पे खत्म हो चुकी थी because they were ready to take on challenges.
Wow.
Like we talked about their career aspirations, otherwise aspirations. Then NLP क्योंकि किया हुआ है तो visualization के through मैंने कहा कि ऐसे ठीक है, just visualize about the obstacles that you're seeing in achieving your goal. उसके बारे में हमने बात की. Amazing results सामने आए, which obviously I thought would be true in many cases, especially when you talk about Saudi women. Culture से related जितने challenges थे, मुझे पता था किस type के challenges होंगे. But then there were like some generic challenges as well, which I thought it's not only our country that is facing these challenges, it is almost everywhere.
Yeah, true.
And it is not only women facing those challenges, it is even men.
Yeah.
For instance, when they talked about imposter syndrome in the new organization, I was like, yes, it is true. Because it is such a fast-paced world. It is such a fast-paced world. If you do not keep up, आप तो पीछे रह जाएंगे.
Yeah.
So it is highly likely कि आपको imposter syndrome होगा.
Yes.
But how do you actually get over it? And that is when, we talked about how different journeys are different from each other. Like मेरी career journey, आपकी career journey से बहुत ज़्यादा different होगी. मेरी career journey की pace, आपकी career journey की pace से भी different होगी. You and I may be in the same role, लेकिन मैंने एक point के ऊपर कब तक पहुंचना है, that is going to be different for both of us. And that is all right. Because as long as we are achieving our end goal, and we're going through our pathway, that's fine. I mean, a hill was not placed for you to die on, right? It is there for you to get a different perspective altogether. मतलब एक हिल ऊपर चल के जो आपको व्यू नजर आता है, it actually makes you think that जो climb थी हमारी पूरी, that was completely worth it. So, it was a really interesting kind of a conversation. And then we talked about action items as well. Okay, what is it that you have to do yourself? What is it that your peers should be doing for you? What is it that your managers should be doing for you? And then we had a conversation with their managers where it was an open dialogue. And towards the end of it, a lot of them felt really confident in the fact that it's not that they won't be able to achieve their goals. It's just that they have to overcome some of their fears. And that's about it.
True, that's a very interesting example. Thank you so much for sharing, because I was thinking यहाँ से especially आपने start किया, that is so true कि when it comes to different nations, and honestly or unfortunately, definitely जब हम सऊदी अरेबिया की बात करते हैं, we have a very 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 strong preconceived notions. और हम उनको लेके ही चलते हैं. सो इट्स सच एन इंटरेस्टिंग एक्सपीरियंस कि आपको माशाल्लाह वहाँ पे, इट्स वेरी हार्ट वार्मिंग थिंग कि माशाल्लाह वहाँ पे आपको ऐसी एम्बिशियस खवातीन आपको मिली हैं एंड यू कुड गाइड देम इवन फर्दर. सो दैट्स ग्रेट. हम इसी फीमेल्स वाली बात को लेके आगे चलते हैं और थोड़ा सा ना आपसे मैं पूछना चाहूंगी, हाउ डू यू सी द अपनी जर्नी को देखते हुए भी और जिन लोगों से और जिन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से आप मिलती हैं नेशनली इंटरनेशनली, क्या कमेंट आप करना चाहेंगी ऑन फीमेल कंड्यूसिव वर्किंग एनवायरनमेंट? बिकॉज अब finally we talk a lot about it, but is it really happening? kahan progress hai, and do you think Pakistan needs to improve a little more there?
I love this topic because I've been discussing these topics with the women at IBM as well. हम लोग जिस कंक्लूजन के ऊपर पहुंचे हैं वो ये है कि although हर जगह जहाँ पे भी आप जाएंगे, you'll be hearing about diversity and inclusion. You'll be hearing about bringing in more females. You'll be hearing about giving leadership position to females, right? So this is like आपका बिल्कुल एक first step है. उसके बाद we still feel that females have to work much harder to prove themselves and to tell the world that they actually earned it, not because it's become a buzzword now कि फेमिनिज्म है या डाइवर्सिटी एंड इंक्लूजन के हमारे टारगेट्स हैं जिनको हम मीट करना है, उसके अलावा हमारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन आगे बढ़ नहीं सकती. ग्लोबली हम लोगों को क्या बताएंगे कि हमारे नंबर्स इतने लो क्यों हैं? हमें वो रोल्स इसलिए नहीं बिकॉज आपके टारगेट्स अचीव नहीं हो रहे थे, हमें वो रोल्स इसीलिए मिले बिकॉज वी डिजर्व दैम. बट अगेन इवन हमारी फीमेल्स, मैंने ये चीज भी नोटिस किया because we are into hiring processes as well. Many females, they tend to undermine themselves as well. एक पोजीशन होगी जहां पे एक आपका मेल काउंटर पार्ट है, उसी पोजीशन के लिए आप भी अप्लाई करिए. यू विल सी एंड यू विल फील द डिफरेंस जहां पे सैलरी नेगोशिएशन की बात आएगी. फीमेल्स का होगा कि आप जितना भी दे दें, वी आर हैप्पी विद इट. somehow I feel they do not really know their worth, or somehow I feel कि उनके दिमाग में ये बात है कि why are we even doing this? Are we doing this just because we need to please, or are we doing this just because हमारी जिद बन चुकी थी कि हमने काम करना है, हमारे अंदर ये स्किल्स हैं भी, do we deserve this much? इस चीज को, इस माइंडसेट को चेंज करने के लिए मैंने अभी अपने सीनियर से भी बात की है कि we need to do something about it. It's not going to be an overnight change, but at least हमारा जितना जगहों के ऊपर हमारी रीच है, वहां पर जाके हम इस वैल्यू को इनकलकेट कर सकते हैं कि know your worth. And you do not have to prove your worth to anyone as long as you know that you deserved it. But since it is Pakistan, हर कोई यही बात करेगा कि you are privileged because you're a woman, you are privileged because इंटरनेशनल वुमेन्स डे सेलिब्रेट हो रहा है, मेंस डे सेलिब्रेट नहीं हो रहा. हर चीज को तो आप लोगों ने एक हैशटैग के साथ एसोसिएट कर दिया, बी इट मी टू मूवमेंट और फेमिनिज्म, वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट और एम्पावरमेंट फॉर दैट मैटर. फेमिनिज्म को काफी लोग बोलते हैं कि इट्स अ फ्लॉड कॉन्सेप्ट इन पाकिस्तान, जिसकी वजह से बहुत ज्यादा लोग इसको एक्सप्लॉइट भी कर रहे हैं. इस टाइप के नोशंस आपको सुनने को मिलते हैं, which is why even women feel that they need to put in much more effort to prove themselves.
That is so true. Thank you so much for saying all that. And I don't even want to get started on that topic. I think I'll take an hour just talking about it. हम अपने जोक्स देख लें, हम अपनी नॉर्मल सेटअप में बातचीत देख लें, हर चीज में it's so convenient to talk about and to joke about all this stuff, and it's not acceptable even to question it because हम ये समझते हैं कि शायद ये हमारे कल्चर में accepted है and we are not supposed to question it at all. और हमारी वर्थ हमें कम क्यों लगती है, वो इन्हीं की मेहरबानी है, इन्हीं लोगों की जो हमारे इर्द गिर्द हैं, जिन्होंने हम पे ये एक एक्स्ट्रा प्रेशर डाल दिया है कि हाँ, यू आर जस्ट गेटिंग योर वे, यू आर probably not worth it, you're just getting your way with it. So that puts an extra pressure, and I don't think there's anywhere where our women are any lesser than men. They are as qualified, they can be even more hardworking, and it doesn't even make sense to joke like that, but we still do. Unfortunately, we do have a long way to go there.
Sana, why do you think a lot of these sexual harassment cases go unnoticed? Because शायद women को भी यही feel होता होगा कि उनके साथ एक Me Too tag लग जाना है और सब बोलेंगे कि because it's a trending hashtag, इसीलिए we are making these things up, you know, which is very unfortunate because it is the harsh reality of every society if you come to think of it.
Yes. वही मैंने कहा कि मैं इस डिस्कशन में जाना ही नहीं चाहती, but even I have a huge social circle. You know, I spent 24 years of my life in Pakistan. Then I came to Germany. और यहाँ भी अब मुझे more than 10 years हो गए हैं. और I have a huge social circle. I know so many women. And unfortunately, I cannot pinpoint a single woman who can proudly say she was never harassed or catcalled in her life. And if there are any men living in some denial that, you know, it doesn't happen to our females, it doesn't happen to people from our family, is only because those females never talked to you about that. They never told you because they were afraid of your reaction. You can make anything out of it. You might not support them. You might end up keeping them at home instead of solving the problem. So please don't tell me that you know, you are making it up. Please don't tell me this Me Too movement is something fun, something to joke about, because you have not been through that and you don't realize what that is. और मेंस डे होता है जी, मैं हर एक को 8 मार्च को यही बताती हूँ कि देयर इज अ मेंस डे, यू डोंट नो अबाउट इट, यू डोंट सेलिब्रेट इट, इट्स नॉट वुमेन्स फॉल्ट, मेंस डे होता है बिकॉज इट्स नॉट नीडेड ना, बिकॉज आपको इतने प्रिविलेज ना ऑलरेडी, आपको जरूरत नहीं पड़ती, बट इफ यू आर सो मच इनटू इट एंड यू गेट सो डिफेंसिव एंड यू थिंक इट्स एन अटैक ऑन यू इफ एनी फीमेल इज talking about her rights, then go celebrate your day. We are not stopping you from that. There is an international day for that. Please Google it and stop messing with 8th March for now. चलिए, हम इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक में पड़ गए हैं, तो हम आई थिंक यहीं स्टक हो जाएंगे. जल्दी से आप क्विकली हमें अपनी सक्सेस डेफिनेशन बताएं, देन वी लाइक टू रैप अप द इंटरव्यू.
मेरी सक्सेस डेफिनेशन सना बहुत स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड है. एनीथिंग दैट गिव्स यू पीस ऑफ माइंड एंड कंटेंटमेंट डिफाइंस एज सक्सेस टू मी. एक जॉब हो सकती है जो आपके लिए बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रेसफुल हो, but on the paper it is really good, मतलब उसका title बहुत अच्छा है, but towards the end of it you are stressed out yourself, your family is stressed out. That won't define as success to me. I would not want to put anything at stake for peace of mind and contentment.
That's a very good definition and very, very realistic definition, actually. And I think it applies to everything, in any role in your personal life or your managerial or whatever professional role and everything. At the end, if you're not happy, if you're not content, then it's not worth it. It's definitely not worth it. Yes. Thank you so much. आपके टाइम का हमारे एंड में एक सेगमेंट है which we call अवाम का सवाल. We try to reach out to friends of our guests. और आपके लिए हमने एक फन क्वेश्चन ढूंढने की कोशिश की है, which I'm not sure is very fun. I'm sure you have some fun answer to that. आपके एक कॉलीग ने एक क्वेश्चन पूछा है हमसे, और I'm hoping कि you can give some fun answer. हमें अहमद तमसाल ने पूछा है कि आप कुछ शेयर करेंगे. आपने प्रॉब्ली किसी PTCL के प्रोजेक्ट पे भी काम किया था. You used to work from PTCL headquarter while you were at IBM and that was a pretty tough project. उधर से कुछ शेयर करना चाहेंगी? How did that go? Any fun
हाँ नहीं, a lot of fun memories actually, क्योंकि वो एक project one of its kind था. Like the first project that I mentioned about, जहाँ पे मैंने कहा था कि एक छोटी सी team थी, but we were all really close to each other. That was the PTCL project.
Oh, okay.
But उस project का जो fun part था, वो अभी क्योंकि हम लोग उसके बारे में सोचते हैं तो we always fits, was that IBM को जो PTCL में जो एरिया मिला हुआ था जहां से पूरी टीम ने बैठ के ऑपरेट करना था, वो एक पुराना किचन था जिसको रिवैम्प किया गया था एंड इट वाज कन्वर्टेड इनटू एन ऑफिस. हमारा जो छत था वो उसके ऊपर कार्डबोर्ड लगा हुआ था और कार्डबोर्ड जो है वो डक्ट टेप के साथ जुड़ा हुआ था. सो देयर आर मल्टीपल इंस्टेंसेस जब किसी एक चेयर के ऊपर एक मोटा सा चूहा आके गिर जाता था. नॉट किडिंग. किसी की टेबल के ऊपर जो है वो ब्लड ड्रॉप्स आ रहे होते, पता लगता था ऊपर एक बिल्ली मरी हुई है. मतलब एक सीरियस डिस्कशन हो रही है, इसके बीच में जो है ना सारे शॉक में चले गए और फिर सारे बाहर भाग रहे हैं बिकॉज इट इज रेनिंग माइस.
Wow. Okay. That's definitely something very interesting and worth remembering.
Oh yes, worth remembering.
Wow. And you guys still did it and didn't give up. बड़ी बात है भाई. हिम्मत है आपकी.
God, we stayed there for a good 1.5 years. Like literally client को बोलना था कि हमें कोई और नई टीम भी दिखा दे please.
Wow, so interesting. Thank you so much, Mehreen. It was really lovely talking to you. I really appreciate जैसे आपने सब कुछ बहुत honestly share किया without, faking कि हाँ सब कुछ बहुत fun था and all glamorous and all. No, you talked about how raw things are and how honestly you talked about all the struggles as well. I'm sure people listening to it can learn a lot from it. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you so much, Sana. I had a wonderful time myself.
Thank you so much for joining. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll keep on bringing more graduates to you. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.